Hi everyone. So today's video will be somewhat Christmas related. I know it's behind us now, but I wanted to share some of the stuff that we did kind of leading up to Christmas. And then I also have some food ideas for you, and these food ideas are really fitting for the winter season, especially the soups. I have one of our favorite soup recipes that I'll share with you down below in the description box. So join me as I work on some of these things and enjoy. The first thing I'm making here is cranberry salad, and honestly I'm not sure why it's even called a salad, being that it's more of a dessert. But for some reason I make this during the holiday season. It's just fitting. And today I don't have the right color of jello. Normally I like to use either raspberry or strawberry, cherry, a red jello, but I don't have any on hand, so I'm going to use orange. Basically, there's just some fruits that you mix together, first put in the blender and then mix together and add the jello after it's gelled some. It's a really refreshing dessert. I ended up not getting any final pictures of it, but it does look really pretty, especially with the red jello, and then during the holiday season it's really fitting. Soup is something I could live on during the winter months. Like, I never grow tired of it. And unfortunately, we have someone in the family that doesn't really care for soup, or I'd probably even make it more often. But here I'm starting out with broccoli cheese soup, one of my favorites. And I'll share this recipe down below in the description box, but it is so delicious, gotta say. And I'm fixing this soup, actually I'm fixing two different kinds of soups for this weekend. We have our family Christmas at my mom and dad's house. It's not on Christmas, but rather the weekend before. Normally our Christmas get-together tradition food-wise is we have brunch around 10:30, and mom and dad will make delicious ham and sausage, corn mush, and Marlene usually fixes a delicious breakfast casserole. And usually, the girls, my nieces, bring desserts, and we just have a delicious brunch meal. And then we have snacks in the afternoon, and then in the evening we always have soup. It's just that type of evening, like you just want something kind of light. So here I'm making two different kinds of soup, and the second kind is going to be the chili soup. And I don't have a recipe for this, but I can kind of show you my chili soup routine. John had browned this hamburger for me yesterday, so here I'm just putting it in my kettle, going to heat it and then add some onions. Now normally I like to actually add the onions as I'm browning the hamburger, but we forgot to do that, but it should be okay. And after, the hamburger is brown and the onions are translucent, I will add my tomato products, which I just kind of use what I have on hand. Often it's tomato juice or sauce. Sometimes I'll add diced tomatoes. Tomato paste is also really good. So again, that's just whatever I have on hand. It's not really, following a recipe or anything. And then of course the beans, and I like to season it heavily with chili powder. I think that makes the best chili soup. And it's also really good if you simmer it for a while on the stove. It kind of blends all your flavors together. I think cheese goes so well with chili soup, so here I'm putting some cheese on a tray to take along. I want to take a snack along to our family Christmas, so I'm fixing some finger jello using actual grape juice that I canned. I probably won't share this recipe, being that it's going to be in Marlene's cookbook once that's out, but it is really simple and it's delicious and healthy. I, of course, put the jello in the fridge, and then after it was set, I cut it into little squares and put it in a container. I want to bake some butterhorn rolls to go with the soup. So here I'm late one evening fixing this. We had a Christmas banquet we attended earlier, and now I'm preparing this, and then it'll be in the refrigerator overnight. I ended up not getting any video footage of me rolling out the dough the next day here, which was the actual Christmas get-together day. Did it down at Mom and Dad's, and basically just rolled out these 2 globs of dough into, 2 large circles, maybe around 13 to 14 inches in diameter, and spread some butter over it, and then cut each section into 16 wedges. I then rolled up the triangles starting at the wide end, and it created these cute little butter horns, and I let that rise for at least 2 to 3 hours, and then I baked them for about 15 minutes. Mom had everything fixed up so nicely on the tables, and of course, the food was delicious. I didn't get a lot of videos of this day. It's sometimes fun to just be with family and not, worry about filming. Plus, I don't like to be, disrespectful if somebody isn't as comfortable with being on YouTube. But we ended up playing, games, and we're quite the competitive family. Like, often we'll have different competition things going on with prizes, and things get a little crazy now and then. We even split into groups and put puzzles together to see who can do it the quickest. That was a lot of fun. And of course, there's always guys around, trying to be tricky.
Whoa! Can we do a double flip in the air?
And for you classic car lovers out there, I have to show you Dad's new project. We're so excited about this. This is a 1968 GTO, and he has it running, as you can see, a little rough, but just beautiful. I can't wait to see what he'll do with it. I'll try to keep you guys updated on this project. So the week before Christmas, we spent a few days in the Wheeling, West Virginia area looking at Christmas lights and doing some shopping. And on the way down, we drove through Cambridge, Ohio. We didn't spend a lot of time there, but we did see the Dickens village scenes. Along the street, they have mannequins set up to represent the Victorian era. And first we thought they looked a bit creepy, but once we kind of knew what it represented, it didn't seem quite as bad. We ate at a restaurant called Theo's Restaurant. We spent one night in Barnesville, Ohio, and stayed in a beautiful old Victorian house. It's actually called the Victorian. I love places like this. Like, I never want to leave. It's so beautiful with all the character. Pretty much everything was remodeled, but they kept most of the old character. Just so beautiful. And the nice thing here was all of the proceeds go to a mission called Abba Heart Ministries. When I booked it, I didn't realize it was part of that ministry, but it was sort of a good feeling knowing that we're helping out in that way. They also had a hot tub and a nice pool out back. Of course, we didn't use the pool, but definitely would be a nice summer getaway to stay at. The house even had a billiard room with a pool table. That was a big hit. We spent a few hours at Ogle Bay Park. We visited their gift shop, and then when it was completely dark, we drove through the park looking at all the Christmas light displays. pretty amazing.
Across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea.
I, of course, had some last minute things to do, you know, the week before Christmas, you know, wrapping some gifts. And I always like to deliver the neighborhood Christmas cards. I really hope for some snow during this time. It's always so fitting for the season, but we didn't get any. We ended up having somewhat of a warm-up, even got some rain. Very typical for Ohio. It can go any which way. You know, some years we'll have freezing cold, and then the next we'll have warm-ups, you know, up to about 60 degrees, which that's what it actually ended up being on Christmas Day. I had some more food that I wanted to fix for Christmas Day. We were just going to have our own little Christmas here at home. Mom and Dad ended up coming over lunchtime, but I thought I'd share some of my recipes with you, the things that I had made. I ended up baking some pie. I'm using Mom's old pie crust recipe. She had made this for me when I was married, and I will leave this down below in the description box if you want to try it. I plan to make 3 different kinds of pie for Christmas Day. John's favorite is lemon meringue, so that's one of them. And then the boys love chocolate mocha. And those 2, I will bake the crusts and then fill them later. And the third pie I want to make is a blueberry pie. And I had canned some blueberry pie filling earlier this year, had shared it in a video you might remember. And this is the first time I'm actually making a pie with it, so we'll see how it turns out. I like to use the leftover pieces of pie crust and bake them for the birds. And sometimes I'll make them for us, like I'll sprinkle cinnamon and sugar on top. That's a really good snack. But I think the birds deserve this. Mom always did that, and they seem to love it. Ended up making some broccoli salad that I'll share. It's an old recipe and one of our favorites. I plan to prep everything and then mix it together on Christmas Day. So here I'm frying some bacon. John is cutting up the broccoli and cauliflower. I'm starting out with the chocolate mocha pie, putting some gelatin and water together. As that sets, I'll mix together my sugar, cocoa, coffee, a few other ingredients that will be boiled on the stove. This mixture needs to cool down before adding the Cool Whip. As it's cooling down, I'll start my lemon pie. Here I'm juicing some lemons, and I really like this juicer. I'll try to link it down below in the description box, but it is rather old-fashioned maybe, but it just really does a good job of getting all the juice out of the lemons. Like, it feels like none is going to waste. Lemon meringue pie is just a bit more complicated than some pies are. I've learned it's best to have all of my ingredients pre-measured out and ready to mix, into this hot mixture then. Once I have this going, basically I just mixed my dry ingredients together, added the water, and boiled that until it thickened. There was some cornstarch in there, that's what thickened it. After it's thickened, you add the egg yolks and boil it some more, and at the end you mix in the lemon juice and the butter. For the meringue part of the pie, it's best to have your egg whites at room temperature. I've even put it in the microwave for just a bit, just to warm it up. It will get it nice and stiff sooner. Once you start mixing your sugar in, you want it to be really stiff and glossy before putting it on the top of the pie. I thought I'd show you my fried chicken routine, or rather my mom's. She always made chicken this way, and I'm planning on making some for Christmas Day. Here I'm the day before, frying it. I'll put it in a large roaster and have it in the oven for a couple hours on Christmas Day. And gotta say, this is our favorite fried chicken. I haven't made it in a while, and it smelled so good throughout the house. I think everybody commented on it, but it always reminds me of when Mom used to fry chicken. I know the house always smelled so good. I don't really have a recipe for this. It's basically just rolling your chicken pieces in flour. I don't even season the flour. I just put the chicken in the pan and then season it on both sides as I fry it. I use butter to fry it, and then salt, pepper, and Lorry's salt to season it with. And it's nice to get it kind of crispy and brown. It just seems to add flavor that way. Something else we really enjoy having with a meal is a simple cheese tray. And of course, here in Holmes County, we don't lack any interesting cheese. So I have a few different kinds here that I'm cutting up, and it always goes so well with any meal. I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. We sure had a lot of fun times, spending time with family, playing games, just being together. There's so much to be thankful for. Before ending here, I have one thing I want to show you. This might possibly be my favorite candle ever. You guys know how obsessed I am with the Christmas hearth scent that we carry over the winter season. And of course, after Christmas, it's not really that fitting maybe to have a Christmas hearth candle burning, especially into, the month of February and March. It's still cold outside, and you still want that cozy, candle season. and that smell of the Christmas hearth. But anyway, that's what is in here, is the actual Christmas hearth, you know, wax, but we named it Winter's Eve. And I think this might possibly be the prettiest candle ever. I used the laser engraver to burn this design, you know, into the lid, and I think it's just so fitting for the winter season. So we do have a limited amount of these that we're going to have over the winter season here, so make sure to check that out on the Etsy shop if you're needing one. If you're like me, you're going to be burning this all winter long. I can't wait. I hope you guys will all have a very happy new year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.